Friends, I cannot let the riots of last night go by without comment. Martin Luther King said a long time ago, riots are the voice of the unheard. Something he knew a lot about, both about riots and about being unheard. There's a lot of wisdom in those thoughts. Riots are the voice of the unheard. People, especially people who are oppressed, must be heard. Truth must be spoken to those in power. There are systemic problems in our world that must be changed, and those problems are too complex for any of us to truly grasp, regardless of our race. But we must try. We must not give up trying. The organizers of last night's event in Grand Rapids were very clear about their goals. It was to be a silent, nonviolent protest. Their intent was good. Their event was good. Several thousand people came out to listen to and to communicate a message that needed to be heard. A message that says our world needs work. We haven't arrived at some kind of utopian society. There are real problems. Discrimination is real. That message needs to be heard. However, after that event, after most people went home, a few hundred stayed behind and had a different agenda. They were a minority, but they had a huge impact. Their agenda was one that no person with any good motives could ever endorse. It's really sad that it had to go to violence, because the problem is, at that point, all that is heard is the violence. And the critical message that really needs to be said, that really needs to be understood, gets drowned out. In the aftermath of all the mess, there are thousands of people downtown right now cleaning up the city, and I'm really glad they are. It's beautiful. I'm grateful. In fact, I'll be heading there shortly. But the message that needed to be said, that needed to be heard, was drowned out in all the violence. So now what do? Now is our opportunity to react. How will we do that? Will we be angry? Will we show compassion? Will we understand that someone needed to scream so loudly in order to be heard? Because as Martin Luther King said, riots are the voice of the unheard. That's what happened last night. People screamed loud enough to be heard. I hope the message can be heard in spite of the violence. So tomorrow, and today even, I urge you to be a part of the solution, to seek to understand the perspective of another. And if you're not sure how to do that, welcome to the crowd. None of us really do. If you're white, understand that people of color don't live in the same world as you. If you're a person of color, part of my minority group, understand that most within the majority people group really want to be a part of the solution but don't know how. But tomorrow morning, when we all get together again and we come back to work on all our various jobs, I know this will be a topic of conversation, and it should be. But I urge you to be sensitive. Be kind to one another. Be compassionate. Seek first to understand, and only once you've understood another's perspective, only then seek to be understood by others. May we make the intentional decision to not be a part of the problem, but rather to be a part of the solution. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.